Hello everyone, it's me, Goomba, yet again, back with another video. This time is going to be a bit of a quick, massive news video. I am still in the making of the biggest project that I ever possibly worked on YouTube. If you haven't followed my Twitter account, I have basically interviewed a bunch of various LBP community members, explaining describing their whole experience with the LBP servers, and since the official servers have shut down officially in 19th of April 2024. So I am making kind of like a tribute to the LBP official servers officially shutting down. Nevertheless, I'm sure you've heard of the news already, but very recently, there has been an archive dating back in 2023 with all the Little Big Planet levels having more than 3 hearts in them archived in the archive.org website. So Little Big Planet Union Twitter official Twitter website has posted it roughly an hour ago, stating that the level backups of every Little Big Planet level from the official servers with more than 3 hearts have emerged on the Internet Archive this morning. We are investigating. So here's the link for this. And this is essentially all the Little Big Planet levels which had the minimum amount of 3 hearts, ranging all the way from the very first levels that were uploaded up until 2023. But I presume it doesn't include all the levels which were previously released, but they were later removed, I suppose. I guess you could say this is kind of like a exact snapshot of all the uploaded levels, back in the year 2023. And if you look at some of the folders, let me just go look at the first one. And if you go to show all files, you would see, there's a readme.txt text over here. It does basically say, what this whole archive contains. It does say that there's all available levels on the LBP 1, 2, and 3 online servers. Archive date 16 February to 20th of February 2023. So I assume this is the snapshot of of all the Little Big Planet levels being uploaded to official servers. We're up during this time between 16th of February till 20th of February 2023. Once again, with minimum of 3 hearts that are given out by the players of the levels. So reviews, comments, photos, and scores are not included, but counts for each are. So I assume the counts for the dimensions are the likes and whatnot. Users without published levels are not included. There's creators where you were playing Little Big Planet, they might have customized their airs and whatnot, but they actually haven't uploaded a single level. I guess this states that. There's also some other stuff when it comes to this whole information about the archive. It does mention what each and every file contains. There's dry.db, which is like a SQL database which contains all the metadata for slots and users. If you go back at the archive, that this seems to be correct. The dry.db is the SQL database file, which alone, only containing metadata, already weighs a total of 2.5 gigabytes, and that's just the metadata and all kind of identifications file which identifies all the levels that are uploaded in all the other zip files. And these zip files are actually stored in every single other okay. So if you just go back to the previous folder right here, say we go to the one which says res00-0f, and then we open all the files that are within this folder, then you can see every single, ranging from 00 to 0f, within that range of the folder we just opened, all the zip files that have each of them having the total size of 4.4 gigabytes. This does seem like it is the maximum file size for the FAT32 file system. So I assume this probably was made because I assume the resources servers were running on the partitions which were formatted on FAT32. I mean, it doesn't really come as a surprise given that how old Little Big Planet servers were, ranging all the way back to 2008. I assume they weren't really hosting on the Windows servers or anything like that, so there wasn't really any NTFS file system Maybe there was like a, you know, Linux file system or everything, but I guess for the sake of like compatibility, they just kind of like, you know, remained in FAT32 file system. So there you have the each and every split zip file. It could be also just the uploader's choice to zip it in that manner. So I assume maybe all these files and maybe all these levels were kind of like, you know, stored in a kind of different format, but they for whatever reason couldn't, like, you know, the uploader couldn't probably store it efficiently given like the amount of levels that were archived. This is just one of the folders. If you go back, then there's also, you know, 10f1, 20f1, all the way to like f0ff. So it's giving pretty much all the range of the re-uploaded levels, I suppose. Yeah, these news are pretty exciting, not gonna lie. Like, you know, there's a possibility, thanks to the fact that we've just received an info, and we do have a confirmation that these are all LBP levels. You know, that also once again is coming from the LBPUNion's official account. They were keeping in track. So if you go back, they did keep us updated, and then they also found out with some kind of, I suppose this is a looks like an HTML file, which does say that the archive appears to be level with more than 3 hearts from February 20th, 2023. So yeah, this is pretty much what I've stated. They did also look through the other SQLite database files, which contained for example, the user data table, which contains over 2 million entries. So this suggests that there are over 2 million players registered on the official LBP servers. This obviously needs to be stated that obviously this all summarizes the total amount of users that were logged on, that were registered up until 2023, because, you know, let me remind you, this archive is taken from the state between 17th of February all the way to 20th of February last year. Then there's a slots data table from the SQL data database file, which contains over 10 million levels. This was just the official servers had over 10 million levels before being discontinued. And once again, I assume the actual like figure before the servers actually shut down was a bit higher. I assume it was probably around like 11 million or something like that. But yeah, you know, a bit above 10 million levels being uploaded, you know, back in, you know, early 2023. And also there's another update. The sub-levels are included in the archive, so this probably means all the levels that are probably hidden, for example, all the locked levels. You know, some of the people, including like Vox or PP, are kind of curious. Does the archive preserve adventure levels? You know, those levels which are into those kind of type of levels which were introduced in LBP3, where you can like store multitudes of levels. So yeah, there's that, and then there's I guess for now, like, I can refresh the webpage to see if there's any new updates, but yeah, this is, as you can see, this is an ongoing reported situation. Pretty exciting stuff. Like, this means that despite the shutdown, we may technically be able to bring all those popular levels back, and maybe not just all the popular levels, but just all the kinds of levels which were seen by any kind of players, right? Because to be fair, like, obviously this makes sense that not all the levels were, you know, brought back into the archive, given that there's probably a lot of levels which went completely unrecognized, and they were sitting like, you know, between 0 and 2 hearts. It sucks for these levels that, you know, they never got any recognition, and because of this they also never got into the archive. But it's still pretty big, considering, like, I don't think we have a confirmation as of how many levels there actually are. But if it's even like a 1/10 of all the levels uploaded, that is pretty massive, because this pretty much means that any kind of levels which were noticed and uploaded to the official servers might potentially be brought back into this archive. So everyone with decent specs, I assume, with like enough storage, can download, you know, the entirety of the archive, which I assume is going to, you know, be a lot, considering that each out of like 16 zip files that are stored within each of the 16 folders, I assume, because it goes from 0 and F, which is like hexadecimal kind of like number format. You know, if I bring in calculator real quick, that is 16 times 16, that's probably 256 if I recall correctly. Yeah, that's 256 times 4.4 gigabytes. That amounts to 1,126 gigabytes, which is over a terabyte. So over a terabyte worth of all the uploaded levels, which is crazy. Obviously, we need to take into consideration those are all zip files. These are all compressed levels, I assume. So the uncompressed size might be even bigger than that. But given that, you know, it's probably like, you know, maybe like I'm speculating, maybe it's like 1 million levels or something that were archived. To fit in that many levels within somewhere over like 1 to 2 terabytes, it's crazy to think about it. And if you were to try to archive all these kinds of levels back then when the LBP service was still running, this would have been probably a crazy idea given like the limitations of everyone people's internets and like the storage limitations back in everyone's you know, PC or whatever. But nowadays this actually amounts to like a total storage for like an average PC nowadays. I mean, okay, sure, I may have gone a little bit overboard, but like nowadays it's not that uncommon to see like 1 terabyte, 2 terabyte hard drives or, you know, solid state drives, which is crazy. And this makes it all also possible to technically re-upload all those levels to custom servers like Beacon, right? So again, crazy stuff. And go check out LBPUNION Twitter accounts to keep in touch with all the news regarding this this archive level situation. But until then, I am not going to like spend much time into this subject any further. I still got the project that I'm yet to make to be fully realized and uploaded to YouTube. I hope you guys will stay in touch with my YouTube channel and my Twitter account to get notified whenever my wholesome project is going to get finally released. But until then, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this this short update video. Comment your opinion, your thoughts about this, and like the video and subscribe for more content. And I will see you guys in the next video. See you guys.